Now that the dust is settled, Oregon fans, we have licked our wounds. We've made peace with that. It's not our year this year. We can have a conversation, or you can at least hear me talk about the Oregon Ducks and that loss we took, the L we took. It was super L deluxe. But hey, Indiana's a good team. We already lost by 10 in the season. We gave them essentially 28 points. You know what I'm saying? The pick six, the two fumbles, the block punt, all resulted in scores. So, but it is what it is. Congrats to the Hoosiers. You're having a movie style run. I remember when the Ducks had a run like that. Back when the Ducks was turning the tide and becoming who people expect them, or when they became who people expect greatness from. I remember for a long time, nobody really cared what Oregon did. You know what I'm saying? Now we're known as a team that can't get over the hump. Which is, hey, we haven't won a football national championship yet. I get it. You know what I mean? But yeah, for a long time though, the Ducks were just kind of happy to be there as well, right? But let's break some things down, right? So the Ducks were underdogs. I did predict that the Ducks would win, but I'm a psycho. I am a psychotic fan. If my team is in the mix, I'm going to root for my team. I don't care. I'm not a journalist. I'm not an analyst. I ain't none of that. I am a fan that is going to use fan eyes whenever I can. I don't care. So take that with a grain of salt. People were saying, oh, well, you said this, said that. It don't matter. I'm always going to say something like that. I am always going to say my team can do it if we're in the mix. Even if we're not in the mix, I'm going to hope that we get to the mix and mix it up. First. Second of all, when it comes to coaching, right, Dan Lanning, we are seeing his infancy of head coaching. This is his first head coaching job, right? You know what I'm saying? Yes, he's come in and he's done a lot of things. We have been number one ranked. We won we won the Big Ten last year. We're pretty good this year. Went to the Orange Bowl and won the Orange Bowl. That's not a slight. That's not a diss. We shut out Texas Tech. They thought they was gonna do some things. You didn't. All good. We both lost. Hey, it is what it is. But we won the Orange Bowl. You know what I mean? And he's took it to some places, but we haven't done the big one. So I get it. But this is his first head coaching job. You know what I'm saying? Kirk Cignetti, he's been in around football since the 70s. You know what I'm saying? He has come up through Nick Saban. He's done his thing. You know what I'm saying? Can't knock him. So unfortunately, Dan Lanning, this is his first head coaching job. So he probably will win a national championship. It might not be with the Ducks. You know what I mean? Because things happen and things just happen, right? So we got to take that in consideration when it comes to coaching. Kirk Cignetti, he's been around the block. You know what I'm saying? He took JMU. I didn't realize that JMU team from last year that was cold, everybody was talking about 2 years ago, they left with him, came to Indiana. So I feel like it was a little bit of get back. You know what I mean? They was mad that we put the beatings on JMU in the first round. He took it upon himself and his JMU All-Stars, you know what I'm saying, to come out and do us dirty. Even when the game was clearly over, you know what I'm saying, he didn't take the foot off the gas. You know what I'm saying? He still had Fernando in there, fourth quarter. I was like, damn, you are upset at us. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's all good. Ducks. It wasn't this year. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we ended where we were supposed to end. You know what I'm saying? I don't think. I mean, besides like fans like me who are always gonna say the Ducks is gonna win until they don't win, didn't really have them going far at all. You know what I'm saying? I think the first Indiana game was like, okay, we'll see if they beat Indiana at Alton, then we'll show them some love. But after that, it was like, well, you guys are good. You guys are good enough to be around, but you're not good enough to win. You know what I'm saying? And that game showed that hey, we were just it was just levels. It was miles apart, right? It was close. I don't think we were a 35-point loss bad, but when you come out and you got mistakes and the team, it wasn't a new team, but we had some people out, and I feel like that one fumble where Dante bumped or the running back bumped him. I feel like that was like chemistry. It was like you just out there trying to do your thing. You know what I'm saying? It's usually Noah Winnington or Davidson or something like that. And he got bumped. It was just unfortunate. It was an unfortunate way to go out. But I do think that we ended where we were supposed to end. You know what I'm saying? Semifinals, right? We won the Orange Bowl. People were saying, James, you might beat us. So people, they wasn't respecting us. Excuse me. They weren't respecting us. You know what I mean? And it's fine, because I feel like the Oregon will always be the team that always has to do more to get their respect, But it is what it is, man. Next year, hopefully, we can reload, retool, and get us back to where we need to be. You know what I'm saying? I would like to win the national championship one day. You know what I'm saying? That would be a nice thing to see in my lifetime. You know what I mean? Turn Eugene out one time. That'll be fresh. But you just gotta figure out how to get over that hump. It seems like having a mixture of young talent and really having some older guys on the team really helps. You know what I'm saying? Having some 5th years, some 6 years, I feel like that's how you gotta recruit now, right? It's cool to have the young high school stud come out and do their thing, be 5 stars, 7 stars, all that stuff. 7 stars, that's crazy. 5 stars, 4 stars and all that. But, it does help, to have a veteran quarterback, veteran receivers, just a veteran core that know how to get it done. You know what I mean? I feel like that is what the Ducks really. The Ducks team was young. You know what I'm saying? Young, a group of freshmen. You know what I'm saying? But I'm always, like I said, I'm always gonna root for the Ducks. But I do think maybe we should switch up how we recruit. You know what I'm saying? Try to make Eugene a little more enticing for for transfers. Get some transfers in here. But because we always want to get the young guys. The young guys always want to come and be fresh. Young guys always want to come and get the swag. The Ducks got the swag. We got gear. We got Phil Knight. You know what I'm saying? It's Nike. We got Nike. We always want to get that. We always want to get some young studs. You know what I'm saying? But we got to make it more enticing. Some buy-in for some older guys too, because you can't be mad at teams. You know what I'm saying? Like the quarterback from Miami, 7th year, right? You can't be mad at people for having veterans on their team. Anybody can do it. Can't be mad at it. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out how to get them. Bring them on. You know what I'm saying? Get some hungry guys who just need that one last shot to get to the league. Bring them in. Man, it could change. I feel like it could change if we switch the way we recruit. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Of course, you always want the fresh out of high school, but you got to bring in some guys who got some of that men strength, you know what I mean? Who been around the block a little bit, So I think we got a Penn State our Penn State transfer coming through, a tight end. So because I think Sadiq is out, which is fine. Sadiq he's been a stud. You know what I mean? He's a stud. He just looks bigger than everybody on the field. You know what I'm saying? So he's did his thing. Yeah, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The Ducks. Orange Bowl, we got this. That's one silver lining about the CFP thing that I do like, is that if you really do it, you can lose, but you can still get a bowl game win out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So, yeah, that's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? Can't be too mad. Just do it again. You know what I'm saying? Reload, retool, and do it again. I feel like the Ducks fared where they're supposed to fare. Semifinals. I feel like that is a good place to be. You know what I'm saying? You can't be too mad. People, like I said, people won't understand. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we want to win, but we probably wasn't gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Indiana is a good team. They are cooking at the right time. You know, like it'll be a movie because they historically has been a bad program. I think the losingest program. So to get a new coach who brought in transfers, you know what I'm saying, who brought in you know, people who bought into him. You know what I'm saying? He's just a veteran. He's a Nick Saban guy. He can't be mad. You know, the national championship is gonna be something. We got former Duck coach Crystal Ball. You know what I'm saying? He had us cooking too. So I don't know. I don't know who I want to win. I don't know who I want to do it. I kind of like the idea of Miami doing it. You know, just to be a hater. You know what I'm saying? Just to like, you know, I don't want Indiana to have that much of a love story. You know what I'm saying? Just go out and sweep everybody and then get their first national championship. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? It's Big Ten love. So, you know, also I might not want to see Crystal Ball leave Oregon, sneak in the playoff and do it either. I might not want to see that either. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Go Ducks. Always go Ducks. Like I said before, I am a psycho fan. If my team is in the mix, ain't no stats, ain't no roster highlights, ain't nothing that's going to keep me away from rooting for my team. Peace.